what is WordPress? There are over 66 million websites using WordPress. So that's like 18% of all websites. So there are a lot of websites out there using WordPress, and this can be a really positive thing. WordPress is an open source blogging tool and content management system. So what that means is that you didn't have to pay for WordPress. If you paid us, it's because we modified it to make it look and act the way that you needed it to. But the base software is something that's available to the public. It's installed in your hosting space, so you can get to it from wherever you are, and you can update it from any computer that has internet access. You do have to have internet access, though, to update it. And so because there are so many WordPress websites out there, if you have a question about how to do something, you can often just Google search for it and find video tutorials and step-by-step instructions on how to do something, because there are so many people using it. So that's a positive thing. Okay, so next, let's take a moment and talk about how your website works. I feel like understanding how your website works lets you understand a little bit more about what's happening whenever you update it. So starting with the internet, which is, you know, this gigantic intangible object. The internet is a bunch of interconnected servers, which are like fancy computers, and all of them are sort of like file cabinets. So your domain name, which is also called your URL, www.yourbusiness.com, is used to tell internet browsers what hosting space to look at, basically the location or the address of your website. And so the hosting location is sort of like a drawer in a file cabinet, and it contains folders, files, and documents, and all of those things together are what make your website your website. Okay, so now when people look at your website, they type in your URL or your domain name up at the top of their internet browser, and then the code that's living in that drawer of that file cabinet is actually translated by a server, and it's paired with the information that's in your database. So the thing that we do for people is we take WordPress and we make it look and act a certain way, and then we pair it with a database. And whenever you're modifying or updating your website, you're basically making a new entry or modifying an entry into your database. And all that information is then smashed together and displayed on an internet browser. So odds are pretty good that you have a custom WordPress theme, and we built it the things that you needed it to do. The beautiful thing is that although your website looks completely different on the front, it looks very different. Or it looks completely different on the front, it looks the same on the back. So the same editing tools that you use are the same tools that most other people use whenever they're editing their WordPress site, which is why you can find these resources so easily.